Hello guys, welcome to the 3D market commentary for today. My name is Becky. My email address is down here. That's becky@tradictive.com. There's also support@tradictive.com here. So if you have any questions, you can get us on that. Now let us just cover the disclaimers there on the top left hand side. Of course, we need to put them up for legal reasons, but it's also good for you guys to read them to understand what you can expect from videos like this. So 3D market commentary, for those that might be new to it, this is a video that expands on an email that we send out every day, Monday to Friday. That email that we send goes to our free members and it has information on 5 major world markets looking at 3 separate elements per market. That's why we call it a 3D market commentary. So I'll get to that in just a second. Just to show you another place where you can go to ask questions. If you go to tradewithufos.com/Becky, from here, you can get apps and different platforms. You can book one-on-one coaching if you'd like, and you can come down here and ask questions in this public space. Now, what's great with doing that is that if you ask questions in the public space, we can answer them in the public space and everybody learns from the same area. So ideally, that's where you'd go to post questions, or like I said, you can always email. So, speaking of email, I said that we send out an email every day, Monday to Friday. This is what it looks like, and it's obviously relevant to market data, so that's what we've got here on the right-hand side. So, the 3 different elements that we look at when we are taking into account these statistics are here. The first one is market climate, which essentially means where is the probabilities, or where are the probabilities? Where's the market likely to go? Is it likely to go up, down, or nowhere? And therefore we get a better idea of whether or not we should buy, sell, or do nothing. Now we use technology to help us with everything, and in this case we are using the AutoClimate app, which is a free app. On most platforms you can get it on. And the AutoClimate app basically tells us where the probability is. We have a thick blue dot that tells us probability is upwards. We have a thick red dot that tells us probability is downwards. And we have thin dots of either colour. I can't see a blue one here, so just thin dots here that we have that are red, but sometimes they're blue. The fact that they're thin is the AutoClimate app's way of telling us not enough probability either way. So again, we're using technology to help us figure out whether we have probability up, down, or nowhere based on the thickness and the colours of the dots. Then we might want to know where might price go up from and where might price go down from, and be more specific about it. This is where our UFOs come in. UFO stands for unfilled order, and what unfilled orders mean is essentially where are the big stacks of buyers and where are the big stacks of sellers. That's helpful to know because lots of buyers are likely to push price up, lots of sellers are likely to push price down, so we want to know where they are. And again, we use an app to help us with this. We use AutoUFOs. With this app we're looking for these little green ones with the prices on the right hand side. That shows us where the buyers are. The little red ones with the prices on the right hand side show us where the sellers are. So we want to know where they are, and we'll have a look per market to see where they are. Then we want to look at market volatility, how quickly we expect the markets to move. So we'll look at each of these 3 elements per market, starting with the S&P 500. Now we're looking at daily charts for each of these, okay? So obviously different things happen on different time frames. What we look at here is relevant to a daily chart. So with the S&P 500, which is the top 500 US stocks, we have a confirmed downwards climate, a thick red dot, probability downwards. Now, we have gone past what is normal in terms of a move to the downside, so bear in mind we are overextended, but still probability down for the time being. We have sellers above us here at 47.40.5 to 46.49, and we have buyers down here at 44.79.75 to 44.36.25. We're kind of in the middle there, so basically the probability at the moment is to the downside, and that's coming from the climate pushing price down. We've got a little way to go before we hit buyers that could push it back up again. So in terms of volatility, we would expect the S&P 500 to move up and down in one, or up or down in 1 year by 28.27%. So what that means is in 1 day, we would expect it to move up or down by 81.22 points. In a week, it would be 178.79 points. In a month, 372.18 points. So that's the S&P 500. That's what we expect in terms of movement up or down in those given periods of time, and where the probabilities are for the time being to the downside with the S&P. Now moving on to the next market, which is oil. Now as I load it, just to highlight here about the different courses that we do, so check them out. We do courses in stocks, forex, futures, trading plans, backtesting and psychology. So check those out. Most of them come with a 3-month complimentary access to the apps. Now AutoClimate is a free app on most platforms, you can use it on anyway, but AutoUFOs, which you can subscribe to directly, you don't have to do a course to do them. AutoUFOs are a small monthly fee, a subscription basis. It's actually, most of the time, works out cheaper to do a course and get 3 months free access to the UFOs than it would be to just get the UFOs. So check that out and see what works out best for you. Okay, so looking at oil, we have a confirmed downwards climate, thick red dot, probability down. We've gone quite a way past what would be normal in terms of a move to the downside here with oil. So we are overextended. Bear that in mind. That does take some probabilities away, but overall, still the probabilities are down here to the downside. Now we have buyers all the way down here at 60.77 to 58.73, and sellers all the way up here at 79.23 to 77.98. We're currently at 68-ish, meaning we're not close enough to either stack of orders for them to likely have any significance today for them to do anything. So in that case, we again have price or probability to the downside here that comes from the climate pushing price down, probability down for the time being. Now in terms of volatility, we'd expect that oil would move up or down in 1 year of 57.27%. So in a day, that's 2.46 points up or down. In a week, 5.42 points up or down. And in a month, 11.28 points up or down. So that's oil. Now the next market is gold. Now as I load this, just to highlight here about the coaching that we offer, we do a bunch of coaching and support for free on many different platforms. So you can join us on YouTube and Facebook and Twitch and LinkedIn and all kinds of things. We also have a closed coaching community, which is a small monthly fee to have access to our, basically more of our time. But it's the same content, we're doing the same thing. So it's up to you as to what you think is best. But either way, you can access us, whether that's in the closed community or whether that's on our free sessions. So with gold, we have confirmed downwards climate, thick red dot, probability down. We have gone slightly past what is normal in terms of a move to the downside. So again, lacking a little bit of probabilities, but overall probability down. Similar to the others in that we're quite away from our stacks of buyers and sellers. We have buyers all the way down here at 1652.8 to 1624.4. We have sellers up here at 1873.3 to 1844.2. And we're kind of in the middle, not close enough to either stack of orders for us to really see any movement from them today. So overall, again, probability down coming from the climate. Now, in terms of volatility on gold, we would expect it to move up or down in 1 year by 18.45%. So in a day, 20.59 points up or down. In a week, 45.34 points. And in a month, 94.38 points. That's gold. Okay, next market is the US dollar. Now, as I load the US dollar, I just want to say quickly that, of course, what we're looking at here are statistics and probabilities based on technology, but just because something's probable doesn't mean it's definite. Of course, there are times where we're wrong. Of course, there are times where things happen outside of what might be statistically likely to happen. So we still manage our risk just in case we're wrong. We still might layer in extra things on top of this to increase our probabilities. But at least to start with, when we trade, we want to make sure we at least have some probabilities going in our favour. So with the US dollar, we have a confirmed upwards climate, thick blue dot there, probability upwards. Now we have just started this move to the upside, but price is kind of not sure at the moment, so I wouldn't be surprised to see this go to an unconfirmed dot, meaning just a thin dot there and not really much going on, just based on the way price is moving. But technically at the moment, probability up. We do have buyers here, 95.595 to 94.965. Now these have already worked, Price came in, hit the buyers at this point and moved up from there. That's what we expect buyers to do, is push price up. That's why we want to know where they are. The sellers are here at 96.94 to 96.66. At the moment, kind of in between the two. Probability to the upside coming from the climate, but personally I would say it's not strong enough. It's too, I don't know what the word would be. It's too unsure at the moment. So I would personally say keep away from it. In terms of volatility, we would expect that the US dollar would go up or down in 1 year by 7.1%. So in a day, that's 0.43 points. In a week, 0.95 points up or down. And in a month, 1.97 points up or down. So that's the US dollar. Having a look here now at Bitcoin. This is the last market that we'll look at, is Bitcoin. As I load that, just to highlight down here about our platform, top. So a top trader, TRADDICTIV options planner is what it stands for, but you can use it if you're a stocks trader or a futures trader as well. I personally use it for stocks. So check that out if you're interested in the platform. Okay, so last market is Bitcoin. We have a confirmed downwards climate, thick red dot probability down. Similar to the others is that we have buyers and sellers quite a way away. So we have buyers here at 49,702.5 to 47,450. We have sellers here at 66,375 to 62,792.5. So overall, the point is that we're in the middle of these two, unlikely to hit either stack of buyers or sellers today, and therefore the probability to the downside, similar to the others that we've looked at today, is coming from the climate. So probability down there at the moment for Bitcoin. In terms of volatility with Bitcoin, we would expect it to move up or down in 1 year of 88.86%. In a day, that's 3,185.62 points. In a week, 7,012.83 points. And in a month, 14,598.37 points. So that is Bitcoin. Now for each of these markets, we've looked at 5 different markets. The US stock market, we've looked at oil, gold, the US dollar and Bitcoin. For each of them, we've looked at market climate. Using the Auto Climate app, where do we have probabilities? Up, down or nowhere, and using the app to help us. We've looked at buy and sell UFOs. Where do we have buyers and where do we have sellers that could push price up or down? Where are they? Again, using the app AutoUFOs to help. And we've looked at market volatility. Using statistics, what do we expect in terms of movement, in terms of how much movement we expect within given periods of time for each of these markets. Hopefully that made sense. You can of course reach out if you have any questions or if it doesn't make sense or you want to clarify anything. Before we wrap up, just want to take a quick look at our weekly economic calendar, see what we should be aware of today. We get this from FX Street and we filter by high impact news. Essentially what we're looking for is what scheduled news reports are coming out that could have an impact on the markets, increase their volatility, make them move a little bit more. That can increase the risk and just gives us something to think about as traders depending on how risk tolerant or risk averse we are. So today being Friday, we have had some news already that's come out on the euro, but we have some news coming out very, very soon on US markets and Canadian markets. And then later on this morning in the States, US markets again could be impacted by these news reports. Non-farm payrolls today is coming out in the US, and that's often a catalyst, I guess, for volatility. So if you trade in those markets, be aware of it. That's including the currency as well. So the US dollar and US stock markets. Again, any questions, please reach out, becky@tradictive.com or support@tradictive.com. And then you've also got, let me bring it up again. You've also got tradewithufos.com/Becky, where you can post questions here in this public space. We can answer it and we all learn from the same area. You can also book one-on-one coaching if you want to do that, and you can get different apps, some of which are free, some of which are paid for, different apps and different platforms from here as well. Hopefully you guys have a great weekend ahead. I will be doing a stock session later on today. So if you trade stocks, join me on that. It's at, well, 5 p.m. GMT, which I guess is 12 p.m. Eastern time. So that's when we'll be doing the stock session. So hopefully see you guys there. Also got a sharpening session over the weekend. So I'll see you on upcoming sessions. If not, I'll see you on Monday morning for the next version of our 3D market commentary. Have a great weekend, guys. Have a great end to your trading week, and see you soon. Take care.